Hey, these fries are good.
All right, Dr. T, got the mukbang food ready. Homework number 1.
The rice, got the compound chicken, fries, and grilled cheese.
And here we've got, practically much of the same as Noah did. We got everything here to show, DEI is essential part of civil engineering. Keep that in mind. We're using that to represent it today. I'll be beginning, as shows DEI is always central, But firstly, for why would you make this measurement? Now, the measurement which we are considering is the magnitude of earthquakes, which we will be measuring. And as for the reason why, it's quite simple so that we can understand more efficiently and be able to organize better as well the magnitude of earthquakes, and thus we'll be able to understand the consequences. And so much better and to be able to organize it. Pardon me. So that, like, when building a building, you can more properly take certain things into account. If you look here, with these little fries held up, with a little bit right there, you move it a little bit, the bang, that's still a little bit, because it's held in place by the rice. That shows as well when building a building, that's the main reason why, especially you're making this specific measurement, so that we can quantify and have a great idea regarding the forces, how much it'd be. Also with that, besides not just the forces, one question that we would answer as I'm blending. Regarding forces also shows another reason why is that with the building, is that it can help us make a more idealized structure. As we consider, for example, with the bridge, with the pin, so that, especially depending on the area, we can have more, say, pin joints, roller joints, so that has more give, especially in places like Turkey, so that, for example, instead of it being too rigid, when it may collapse on occasion, we could much rather have that. Would you like to go, Muzzy?
So how is the measurement actually done? So the size of an earthquake depends on the size of the fault. And scientists can't just go measure that with like a meter stick or like a measuring tape. So they use something called the seismograph. The seismograph is basically, it's on the Earth's surface. It has a pencil, and when the Earth vibrates, the pencil vibrates, and there's a mass on it with a spring, but the mass doesn't move because of inertia. So basically, a small wiggly line on the seismograph means a small earthquake, and then a large wiggly line, that means a large earthquake. They used to use the Richter scale up until it got outdated because it was only good for certain frequencies, and so now they use the moment magnitude. It's like the new scale, and it's really good at using it for large earthquakes particularly. So alternative methods for making the measurement, there's not really. Everyone uses the seismograph. There's 2 types. There's a vertical seismograph and a horizontal seismograph. The moment magnitude actually provides an estimate of the earthquake size that is valid in the range of magnitudes. And
Building off of everyone else here, how is the measurement related to civil and environmental engineering, and how do we use this data and within this field? So first off, when we study the magnitude of these earthquakes, for example, we use that data to kind of know and to know what materials we want when we're building a structure, for example. We use that information to determine how strong and how sustainable our material can be. But also, with that being said, we use a number of things like shear walls, horizontal frames, and moment-resistant frames, with all in which reduce the impact of these earthquakes if we were to build a structure in an area where earthquakes are more prominent. So, it's important to know as engineers, that's what they do.
I may as well mention that is a chief question which we're answering. with these measurements? What, especially as civil engineers, what's the most efficient, proper structure to build to take into account for such earthquakes? Otherwise, that's all, Dr. T. We hope you enjoyed this very educational video, and we're gonna apply these to Turkey one day. I put that. I'm so serious about that, wallahi.
Thank you.
And